Welcome back. Today I'll be talking about how I've learned how to better manage my cravings. So, pretty much when we have cravings, it's a sign that our body is lacking something. So, with me, if I'm craving something like a donut, I know that I'm craving sugar, right? And then I figure out what can I do as a better option versus eating the donut to get rid of the sugar craving. Like, what is it that my body needs? So, in the same, like, if I'm craving French fries, I know that I don't have enough sodium in my body. So, why am I craving something salty? Um, and what do my body needs? So, here are a few things that I have been doing in the last, I guess, month and a half to better manage my cravings, better manage my health, ensure that I am doing better about fueling my body and not eating for pleasure, but actually eating more for longevity in my body and for my body to be healthy. So, the first thing that I've done in the last month and a half is meal prep. Meal prep has been such a game changer for me. And I've done meal prepping in the past. And in the past, what I would do is meal prep like lunch. But then I just eat whatever I have or whatever was in the house because I would do meal prepping like when I was still living at home with my parents. So, I brought my own food, like whatever I wanted for lunch and prep that. But then I eat whatever my mama ate, whatever my mama cooked for dinner, or whatever was in the house for breakfast, or if my mama cooked breakfast, or if I made something for breakfast. So, and I meal prep probably I was pretty good. Meal prepping was really good. And, I do remember like being able to always eat something healthy for lunch and not buy fast food or dine out. So, but what I've been doing this time around, I've been meal prepping every single meal. And to prevent burnout from eating the exact same thing, I have been prepping two things for each meal. So, two options for breakfast, two options for lunch, two options for dinner. And that has really been a game changer for me. And it actually allows me to have cooked food always in the house. And with giving myself so many options, I'm not stuck eating the exact same thing. And then sometimes I find myself actually eating some of the lunch options for dinner. So I kind of make four different options for lunch and dinner because I can mix and match them. And 4 days straight, I can have four different dinner options. I can have four different lunch options. And breakfast, I'm okay with eating the same thing for breakfast. But having two options help too because I may not want to eat oatmeal every morning, or I may not want to eat a healthy cereal like granola every morning. I may not want to eat a parfait or a breakfast sandwich every single morning. So it has been really, it has been very sustainable to eat at home and not feel like you have to cook every single day. And so what I do on Fridays, I find six different meals, two for each. So I'm looking for like high protein meals and low carbs. So that's the difference this time around. I'm being more intentional about how much protein I'm taking in and trying to not be so heavy on the carbs. And so that has helped a whole lot because I'm getting fuller faster. I can even feel like I'm eating less as well. Especially, when I do have those times where I do get takeout or I get fast food like Raising Cane's or something like that. I find myself eating less and not being able to eat the portion that I was eating before and actually eating like half or a little less than that portion size. And so Fridays I write down all my meals for the week and I use Pinterest to find high protein, low carb recipes. I use TikTok if I seen like a meal on there before that I wanna try out. I use Instagram, pretty much using all of the websites to figure out this meal plan. And then so I write down which ones that I've settled on, and then I make a grocery list. So I make a grocery list on everything that I would need, regardless if I have it in the house already. And then what I do is I just scratch off those things, like, oh, I got this, I got that, I got that. And then doing meal prep has actually saved me a lot of money too, because sometimes you may have stuff left. I may have stuff left over from the previous week, like as far as like if I cook red beans, and I may have not used all the red beans from last week, but I got another meal that I can use the red beans or the black beans or the pinto beans in. So that's one less thing I have to go to the store. Or if I'm using rice and I brought a lot of rice 2 weeks ago, I still have rice that I can cook. And then even like I try to buy like meat from like Sam's, just because they give it to you in a bulk, and I just freeze it. And then now I probably have ground beef for a couple of weeks, where I don't have to keep constantly going to get to the store and getting some of those big ticket items, or may not even have to get that much once I have to actually go to the store. And so that's what I do. And then I typically will cook all my meals in one day. So whatever day, and I do this on an off day. So it's not a consistent day, but sometimes I do it on Saturday so I can just have it all done. Because typically my start of my week is like a Monday, sometimes a Sunday, depending on when I deem it. But so ideally I either do all the meal prep on a Saturday or a Monday. So just because I've been doing it for a while now, I always kind of have food, so I don't have to worry about, oh, I gotta hurry up and cook something because I don't have anything to eat, or result into going to get takeout, which I don't know. Me and takeout, it's certain places. I go to specific places now just because different people prep their stuff different. And now as I'm getting older, I'm actually feeling like the immediate effects of that, like having a sour stomach, because you can feel the grease in your stomach from whatever you ate or whatever was in it that wasn't right. You can just feel it instantly, right? So so that's one way I have been curbing my cravings, eating more protein and less carbs. So protein make you stay fuller longer, and whereas those some carbs don't really stick to you like the protein do. The carbs digest faster than the protein. I think that's why it ends up working that way. And then as far as going to buy my groceries, I've tried both. I've did grocery pickup before, and I go to the store. So, what I like about the grocery pickup is that, you can order all your stuff and they'll bring it to you. But with me, I don't always shop at the exact same store. So, I'll be doing grocery pickup from multiple stores based on who got a deal and who got certain things on sale. And sometimes, people do substitutions for stuff that don't make sense, and then you have to kind of go back and get refunds and stuff for it. But what I'm finding is my favorite way, and the most way that makes sense for me to get food, is just going in there myself and having a really good grocery list. So having a grocery list where you have everything grouped by typically whether it be in the store. So you just make your little beeline around the store. If you're getting dairy stuff, make sure you're getting all your dairy stuff in that when you're there. Or you're getting all your meat in one area, getting all the stuff in the aisles in one area. So that way you're not ripping and running around the store. You're kind of going in like a seamless motion, and then you'll be in and out pretty quick because you have a list. You're not going in there and saying, "Ooh, I need this, I need that, I need that." Like, you got to stick to the list, and you're in and out, and you get the options that you want. And then, so what happens is, if my store of choice don't have what I want, I'll go to another store, and I know this store didn't have this, so this is all I need to get from this store. And so that's what's worked for me the best. And typically, I'm just spending money on food once a week, and you know, you just know the share savings in that. Prior to previously, whatever I wanted to eat, I feel like I'm going to the store every single day just to get stuff, or getting takeout and stuff. So that is definitely one way I'm managing my cravings. And then another thing I'm doing that may be kind of indirectly, but I weigh myself every 4 days. So the reason for it is to kind of get an idea of what is my body taking on as far as food groups, and what is my body what food groups or what foods is allowing my body to be more optimal, more lean. So, weighing every 4 days, and if I see any big changes and I remember, oh yeah, you had them French fries, you had French fries like 2 days, or you had them donuts, you had like three of them, but you should have just had one of them. So, it allowed me to gauge like, okay, if I have the one donut, I'm good. I'm not undoing anything. But if I go back for two more, then yeah, you're going to undo what you did all week to be in a place where you're trying to be more leaner, more healthier, minimizing those terrible health related issues that come from my eating habits and things like that. So that's what I use weighing every day for. And then, it is satisfying to see when you lose weight, but I'm using it more as a marker to better understand, like, how is my body reacting to different food groups, and kind of gauging like that is too much or that's too little in a number perspective. Because, in reality, we know like we shouldn't go back for the third and the fourth, fifth donut, but it's very pleasing, eating the sugar, and sugar is my kryptonite. Like, after dinner, I have to have something sweet. So just having a better balance of what that is doing to my body on somewhat of a regular basis. I feel 4 days is a long enough time to kind of gauge that versus every day, and kind of becoming obsessed with the number on the scale. I just want to have a healthy relationship with the scale and use it as a tool versus using it to make myself feel bad or celebrate a few pounds shed and then gain it and feel like I'm doing like it just doesn't work that way, to kind of make myself feel bad for how the scale is going up and down in that manner. So another thing that I have that has been helpful in curbing my cravings is exercising. So being intentional about exercising and having a plan, having an easy, manageable plan to execute, being more active has helped me a lot. So knowing like when I'm gonna exercise, how long I'm gonna exercise, what that type of exercise will look like. And then once I'm getting stagnant with that, then I would change the routine and keep doing it that way, because I find that works best for me. So before, before the month and a half, exercise was fleeting. It'll be like a hit or miss. I exercise a few days in a week, then I wouldn't exercise for weeks. And so this time around, I have an easy plan that I can remember. It's not something that has to be plastered for me to remember it. So pretty much what I'm doing now, I'm rebuilding back up to exercising pretty much. So, before and in the past, I've loved doing things like CrossFit, doing a little jog here and there. More like high intensity workout and body related workout. But when you haven't been doing that for a while, you just can't jump back into it and it be sustainable. So that has been my downfall, because I like to get my heart racing and get my heart rate really up. And I'll do the high intensity workout, but then since I haven't been really building myself up for it, it's not sustainable, because then I feel sore, and then something in my brain tells me like, well, I can't work out for 2 days, you know what I'm saying? So this time around, I'm doing something simple, easy, something I'm not putting pressure on myself. I'm just doing it. So I have to work out every other day, and I have to walk 1 mile. And that's very sustainable, because all I have to do is go outside, walk. I figured out how far out I have to walk. So what is a mile? What is a half a mile out? And then I do the other half coming back. And I don't need equipment. I don't need a walking trail. I just walk on the main street near my house. And as long as the weather is not too bad, I'm out there. Like today I went out there, it was drizzling, it was raining, but I just put my hat on my head and had a sweatshirt on because it was a little cooler, and I got it done. So, and then also I just incorporate doing like some push-ups, some squats, and then like some standing sit-ups, and doing 2 rounds of it for 10 reps. So it's very sustainable. I'm getting my body moving. I'm getting my body back used to it, but it's in a way that's sustainable and feels good. And every other day is a good way to measure it. So if I don't necessarily remember, like say, I did go 2 days without working out. And so I'm like, okay, it's been 2 days, not just a day. So you gotta work out the next day kind of thing. So it's just my way of keeping myself accountable. And so the last thing is figuring out why I'm craving a food. So like I was saying earlier, when I'm craving donuts, I have been craving donuts for like a week, and I haven't gotten it, because what I did was I looked up, why am I craving donuts? So it's because I'm craving the sugar. And why are you craving the sugar? Because your body needs fuel. And what sugar does for your body is, yeah, it fuels it, but it's like short-lived fuel. So it'll get you up. Like, you ever think about it, somebody who have a sugar rush, it'll shoot your blood sugar up pretty fast. But as fast as it shoots it up, it's gonna drop it, and then you're gonna feel like you're gonna crash, because the fuel is gone. So instead of eating something with sugar in it, I opted to eat a meal for the fuel. And so that meal is going to be way more sustainable. I'm going to be fueled for the next probably 3 hours, versus that sugar was probably going to fuel me maybe 15, 30 minutes, maybe 40. And then now I resume back to my everyday things, and I'm like, I have no energy. I can't get through this. So opting out for a meal is key. And then like for me, I oftentimes, when I crave French fries, I'm craving salt. So I know I'm craving the salt because I don't have enough sodium. So, just making sure when I do cook and prep food that I am putting enough salt in it, not to make it salty, but just to make sure that I'm getting salt, because having sodium in your body that's one of the key electrolytes that your body needs to sustain itself. And so that's what I'm doing. So when I do have the craving, I figure out why I'm craving this thing, and then what I can do to make a better choice to feed that craving versus feeding into the specific thing that I'm craving. So I hope, as always, that this video has found you well and that is informative, and that you can use this in your own journey of figuring out how to better manage your cravings. Not control them, but better manage them, because we're always a work in process, and we're just looking for solutions to do something better than we did the last time. Stay blessed.